Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Before we get into today's video, I wanted to remind you guys to subscribe if you haven't, share to as many people as you can, hit the like button, and also turn on your post notifications so that you're notified every single time I post. Let's get into it. So for today's video, I'm not going to be doing my makeup while telling the story because I need full concentration, because I feel like this is a story that really hit home on a personal level. We were like age mates literally. We joined Form 1 at this around the same time. So I just need to fully concentrate and get to tell you guys the story and my views on it. We are going to be breaking down how, or rather what happened to her, and why it has taken 3 long years to finally get justice. Should I even say 3? No, it's actually 4 when you round it up. 4 years for somebody to be held accountable. So we're going to have a part 1 and a part 2 because we need to get 2 accounts of the story. We need to get from the mom's account and then what actually happened. So yeah, stay tuned. This is part 1. There's going to be a part 2 next week, so stay tuned. Turn on your post notifications, and yeah, let's get into it. Martha Wanjiru Samuels who was a mother of 3 at that time, was a proud mother because her firstborn daughter had just completed primary school and was about to join secondary school. She had performed well and she was growing. She was finally joining secondary school. Now I can only imagine how happy and excited she was, since this was her first daughter joining Form 1. This is a milestone because you're seeing your kid grow. I'm not a mother, but I am imagining that's how she felt, and that's how most parents feel. So on January the 15th of 2019, Martha Wanjiru Samuels takes her daughter Ebbie Noelle Samuels to join the Gatanga CCM secondary school, which is in Muranga. So Ebbie joins the school, she settles in and everything is okay, and finally midterm is here. So on the 18th of February 2019, this was the midterm and people are coming back home as usual. So Mama Ebbie went for Ebbie from school and they went back home. They enjoyed the 1 week, and on 25th of February 2019 was when the kids were supposed to report back to school, which was also Mama Ebbie's birthday. Yeah? So she takes Ebbie back to school and everything is okay. Life moves on. I'm not sure of the date, but sometime at the end of February and at the beginning of March, Ebbie had to see a doctor to get her tooth filled because she had an issue with the teeth. Yeah, so the mom goes for her from school, takes her to the dentist, and then takes her back. But sadly, this would be the last time she would see her daughter alive. Fast forward to the 9th of March 2019. In the morning, Mama Ebbie was working. Obviously, she was getting ready to go out on a mission. She used to work with Sitam Church. Yeah. So while she's getting ready to go out, she gets a message from the principal telling her to go to Naidu Hospital because Ebbie was sick. Now this was just so random because number one, Ebbie was not those kids with these conditions such as asthma, whereby you just get an attack and you need to be rushed to the hospital. So this was very random considering that fact. She didn't have any underlying condition, any serious thing, but she didn't think much of it. So she was like, okay, fine, let me get ready, I'm coming. So while she's preparing herself, she gets another call from the principal, but it's the deputy who's now talking. The deputy asks her how long it would take for her to reach the hospital. The deputy also asked her to come with someone. Crazy as it sounds, at this point, Mama Ebbie still didn't think much of it. So just come, she said, okay, fine, I'm getting ready. Just give me a moment. She goes and calls her neighbor, who was a really close friend. She was also the one who helped her take Ebbie to school on the first day of reporting. So she's like, hey, I've just received a call from the school and they're telling me Ebbie is sick. I need to get to this and this hospital. So will you please help me? And the neighbor is like, okay, fine. Tupande gari, tuende. So when they're like literally getting out of the gate, Mama Ebbie gets a call from the head teacher of Logos Christian School, which was the primary school where Ebbie was before joining secondary. And the head teacher tells her that she just got a call from the principal of Gatanga CCM, and the principal is saying that Ebbie is sick and the mom needs to get to the hospital soonest. Now, at this point, now Mama Ebbie starts wondering the magnitude of the sickness, considering the fact that why did the head teacher of the primary school, okay, fine, the head teacher's contacts were in Ebbie's documents, which is like a requirement. They have to have contacts from your previous school. But how serious is it for the head teacher of the primary school to be called? So Mama Ebbie calls her cousin who lives in Thika, which is actually closer to the hospital, and she tells her, I've just been told this and this, that Ebbie is in this hospital, Nini. Me, I'm far. I feel like I will get there late and you're closer. So just go ahead of me. We'll catch up later when I arrive at the hospital. So she finally manages to reach the hospital. And when she enters into the gate, she sees the principal sitting outside and her cousin coming out from the hospital. Now, you can read moods through like situations, and she felt like something was not right. So she comes out of the car and the cousin comes and hugs her, and she's like, Ebbie went to sleep and she did not wake up. You can only imagine, man. It's crazy. She lost it, man. I don't know, honestly don't know. It's where she was wailing, she was yelling, she was doing all these things because it was unimaginable. What do you mean? What do you mean my daughter went to sleep and didn't wake up? So she requests to go in. She goes in. She finds the daughter laid on a stretcher with foam coming out of her mouth. And it's just, she can't believe it. She cannot believe. She touches her everywhere just to make sure, like, she just needs a sign. So she has her moment in there with her daughter. Time goes by, she's just in there, and she finally decides to come out. And when she comes out, she finds that the other cousin had organized for a hearse to come and get Ebbie's body, since Naidu Hospital did not have a morgue or anything. The mom tries to ask from the hospital, like from the doctors, to kind of like understand what is going on, but the doctor just said that they received a body which was like dead already. Asking the principal or the deputy principal, they, number one, according to Mama Ebbie's own stories statement, yeah, when she was coming out, she meets the deputy on the corridor. Now, you would know if someone is being sympathetic towards you or somebody is just showing remorse towards you, especially during such a moment. But she said that when she looked at the deputy's eyes, like they were just stone cold, you know. But at that moment, a lot of things were just going through her mind, and everything was happening so fast. She just wanted to understand what was going on. She asked the principal, and the principal said that the girls tried waking her up and she did not wake up. And when they were getting her to the hospital, she died on the way. Makes no sense, because the police literally said, the doctor literally said that they just received a body. But we'll get to that, okay? So Mama Ebbie doesn't go further into that because she's still in that moment. She just cannot believe.
Side eye. Side eye. Side eye. Side eye. Side eye. Side eye.
Evening comes and she's still trying to process everything. Everything is happening so fast. And while her cousins and the rest of the family which came to the hospital are taking Ebbie's body to a hospital which has a morgue facility, Ebbie's mother decides to go back to Gatanga CCM and collect Ebbie's things, because she just didn't want to go back that way because of the trauma and everything. So she asked the close friend to take her to Gatanga CCM. So she goes, and when she gets there, she tells the principal her request to get her Ebbie's things. But funny enough, the principal actually tries to convince her to go back home, that they would bring the things to her place.
Side eye. Side eye.
We'll get back to that. So Mama Ebi insisted, and she's like, no, I need my daughter's things. She also makes another request. She asked the principal if she could go and see where Ebi slept last, but the principal turns down this request. She literally just wanted to see the bed to get a little bit of closure, because everything was just happening too fast. She just needed to see at least, where is this place where they're saying she slept and didn't wake up. I need to see this place. But the principal turned it down, claiming that, the girls, you were heartbroken by the news. Some of them even fainted. But does that even make sense, honestly? Ebi is dead. Them, they're just fainting. So the principal tells the matron, and the matron calls some girls who go and get Ebi's things from the dorm. And among these girls, the principal actually points out one girl, and says that, actually, she was actually washing clothes with this girl just yesterday night. Da 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 da. This girl will be very instrumental in this whole story, so keep her in mind. So everything is brought in, and among Ebi's things is one green bucket. Ile form one inakuwa imeandikwa jina in bold. So this bucket has wet clothes. Now make it make sense. My daughter washed her clothes yesterday night and she hung them. Why is there still a bucket of dirty clothes, wet clothes? So the principal actually tells her that, she bedwet in the middle of the night, and she woke up, washed her clothes, and now here they are. Make it make sense. But Mama Ebi at that point just wanted to go. So she takes some of the uniforms, and to the girl who the principal says that they were washing clothes with the previous night, she gives them to her, and she's like, yeah, here's my little gift. Thank you for spending the last moments with my daughter. Yeah. Mama Ebi gets out of the school. Burial plans commence or continue, and in the middle of the burial plans, before Ebi is buried, an autopsy is conducted. Now, what this autopsy revealed just blew the principals and the school stories like mbali. The autopsy reveals that Ebi died from blunt force trauma. She had hemorrhage at her brain and the right cortex, which is at the back. This could have only been caused by being hit by a blunt object. Ebi was hit by a blunt object. But hold on, we'll get back to the autopsy results in a few. So investigations continue, and Ebi is buried 1 week after her death on the 15th of March 2019 at the Langata Cemetery. And it's just sad. People who attended, including family and friends from her primary school, Christian Logos School, described her as a joyful person, a person who just loved being happy, a person who emanated just happiness and good vibes, a person who cared, a person who was just a really nice person in general. Her siblings, her younger siblings, could honestly not understand what was going on, like what happened to their sister. Everybody needed answers. Back to the autopsy results. As I mentioned earlier, the autopsy results revealed that she died from blunt force trauma to her head, meaning she was hit on her head. Now, the family, Ebi's family, was trying to get justice, and the first place they had to report this incident to was the nearest police station to Gatanga CCM school. They report this incident to Kirwara police station, which is literally, as I said, close to the school, and investigations are being done. Now, from these investigations, now since everything went against the school's earlier story, now the script just changed. First of all, as I did mention, the school claimed that Ebi died along the way. The doctor who received Ebi said that when Ebi arrived, her body was cold. And when a human being or a person dies, their body doesn't go cold instantaneously. It remains warm for a couple of hours, up to 3 hours. But hers was cold, completely cold, which means she had been dead for some time. Doesn't match the school story, but okay, let's move on. So now the police at Kirwara police station are claiming that they're now doing the investigations, and they found out that on 28th of January 2023, Ebbie fell from, like, they used to sleep in triple deckers. So Ebbie was sleeping at the middle, so she fell down while she was dreaming. This is allegedly from like a report they got from people who are sleeping around her. She fell when she was dreaming, and she never reported it to anybody. Nobody said anything, and that was it. But again, to the autopsy, the doctor who conducted the autopsy stated that fresh blood was found on Ebbie's brain. If indeed it was this incident which caused the death, there would have been a blood clot, since it happened 2 months prior, January 28th, and she died on 9th March. So instead of fresh blood, there would have been a blood clot, but instead there was fresh blood. So let's just rule that out. That doesn't make sense at all. So the police seems to be taking the family in circles, and the story that's circulating in Muranga or that town, I don't know, is that she died because she fell off the bed. The doctor who conducted the autopsy also stated that and gave us this scenario of how the human bodies work. Now, if a person were to fall, and you'd actually notice, even you, when you're going to fall, you don't fall with your body. You just don't fall with your body. You first of all fall with your hands. Your hands go fast. So technically, even if she was in her sleep, her body would have reacted and she would have fell on her hands first and not her head. That's just how the human body works. Plus, if you look at the distance between where Ebbie was sleeping at the middle of a triple decker and the floor, there was not that much distance that would cause head injuries. It was not that much of a distance. So at that time, an investigative journalist took it upon himself to actually go and visit the school and the police station to just try and understand what could have been going on. So he goes to the school, and at first he's not let in. Typical. When you're guilty, you just do things that guilty people do. So he's not let in. Finally, he's told he can come in without his camera, and he goes, and then he's told they can't really get any information since the principal was not there. So they decide to head over at the Kirwara police station to see if they can get some answers, since they're the people who have been conducting this investigation after all. So he gets there, and he's told that the OCPD who had been handling the case, her name was Beatrice, I guess, that she had been transferred. She had just been transferred. Upon further investigations, it is revealed that this Madame Beatrice had also been living in the school compound. So the school was housing her. She has been given the mandate to investigate a case which would potentially bring trouble to the school. And now she has transferred. This just sounds fishy and creepy, and everything surrounding this case just points to just there being some fishy business going on here. Did I mention that nobody from the school attended the burial? Nobody. Did the class teacher ever call to at least even say sorry or pay condolences? The class teacher, he or she, I don't know the gender, did none of that. No representative was sent from the schools to go during the burial, to go attend the burial. The head teacher had the nerve to call Mama Ebbie the day after the burial, and she was like, oh, we didn't come to the burial because, we figured out that you didn't want to see any of us here. Surely, Ebbie had friends in her class. I'm so sure some of her friends wanted to at least go to the burial because that's the last respect they could pay to her. But something was going on in this school. Something is going on around this story. We have to find out. what really happened to Ebbie. Stick around, I shall be releasing part 2 next week.